Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's meditation. Today's meditation is designed to be done when we are in a spiritual low. So, as we know or come to know in our spiritual journey, it is comprised of a series of highs and lows. Earth is a planet of polarity, so the highest of highs are contrasted by the lowest of lows in our journey. And oftentimes, this spiritual journey is just a practice of alchemy, of raising a lower vibrational state to a higher vibrational state. And oftentimes, a lot of us are even spurred into a spiritual path because we find ourselves at rock bottom, in a dark night of the soul, or we find ourselves in a very dark, unpleasant, undesirable state of experience. And we learn that we can set our sights on something higher, that we can work towards something higher vibrational and become higher vibrational. And that is why we call it a spiritual journey, because in most cases it is not a one and done. Even if we so desperately may want it and hope it to be a one and done at certain times, the truth of the matter is that it is a journey. And these highs and lows that we experience are a process of balancing and are an alchemical process. We have those times of rising into the higher vibrational states and experiences because that is the natural state for all of us. That is us remembering and reclaiming our divinity. And the low moments that we experience are us sinking back down into our illusion, delusion, lack, fear, doubt, all of the energies and belief systems that separate us and isolate us from Source and our true divine nature. And in order to navigate these highs and lows more successfully, more easily, more gracefully, it requires us to have both a strong, firm, and loving hand for ourselves. We need to love and honor who we are, who we have been, and we also need to be firm enough with ourselves to get us out of those low times. Because those low moments in the alchemy are not supposed to be situations or experiences that we elongate. With consciousness and awareness, we can navigate those lower vibrational fields and pull ourselves back out of them as swiftly as we can, or want to, or need to. But oftentimes, what happens is we get sucked into that lower vibration. And that is because we are exploring ourself. Those low periods, low vibrational times and experiences are within us, they are us. So when you fall into a low vibrational state and you get stuck there, it's because you resonate with it, and you resonate with it because it is you. These low vibrational experiences are not punishments being afflicted to you. They are you experiencing yourself. Your reality is a constant reflection of who you are and what you believe to be true about yourself, the world, reality, Source. And we don't always want to hear that. I know I don't always want to hear that. When I'm in a bad mood and feeling down about myself, I don't want to think or say or hear or believe that it's all my fault. And one of the differences we want to shift this to is that it is no one's fault. It's not your fault. It's not the universe's fault. There's no one to blame. If this is resonating with you right now and hitting hard, then take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, sighing it out because we're going to keep going. All of your life is you navigating your own soul and your own consciousness. Your highs are you, and your lows are also you. And so when we go on this journey of spiritual awareness and spiritual awakening, we are assessing our current point in space, our current frequency and vibration, and we are proclaiming and affirming our intention that we want to rise to a higher vibrational state. We want to be more easy, more effortless, more loving, more flowing, more happy, more kind, more generous, more courageous, whatever it might be. And so what you will do, because you have set that intention, because you have set out on that journey, you will rise and become those things. But in the process and journey of rising to that location, you have to clear out the cobwebs, you have to clean out the basement. And those are the times that we experience our lowest vibrational portions of self. We are not in that experience to suffer or be punished. We are in that experience to see it, witness it, heal it, and alchemize it. Because when we clean out that vibration, that belief system, that energy that does not serve our highest good, it does not align with the higher vibrational spiritual intention that we have set, it must be cleared. And to be cleared, it must be dealt with. We are the captains of our ship that is our life. And so let's say we are starting our spiritual journey and we are finding ourselves to be on this rinky-dink little boat that is not strong enough to support us. The waters in the place you find yourself are dark and murky and polluted, and the sky above you is always dark and overcast and rainy, and you are wanting to get yourself to a better position, a better place. We all start our spiritual journey with what we have. If all we have is that rinky-dinky little boat, then that is all we have to begin our journey with. And so the spiritual journey is metaphorically akin to slowly gathering parts and building our boat and going further and further, traveling to brighter skies and clearer waters. Every piece that we add to our boat that strengthens us, that enables us to go further in our journey, every single step that we take, every foot that we travel is bringing us closer to those brighter skies and clearer waters that we set the intention to get to. And when a big storm hits out of nowhere and it feels like it pushes us back and maybe rips off some of the upgrades we made to our boats, to ourselves, that can really, really hurt. That can really, really suck, in all honesty. But we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to remind ourselves what we are doing this all for. And so let's say this big storm comes, it blows a hole in our boat, blows a hole in our self-esteem, sets us back a few days on our timelines and our journey. Do you give up? Do you turn around? Do you head back? Do you wallow for a few days and therefore delay your journey by another few days? Or do you pull on the strength of your original intention, the whole reason you set off on this spiritual journey, the whole reason why you were here and decided to do and be something better? Do you pull on the reserves and strength of that? Build your repairs, restore your confidence, your self-esteem, your trust in the bigger picture, and continue on the way. And we will often find that the pieces that we lost, that were stripped from us and we had to rebuild, were always rebuilt better, that they were better functioning and served a higher purpose and made us strong enough to weather the next storm. And I am here to tell you that it gets easier. As you get closer to this goal, this original intention that you set forth towards, the water will gradually become clearer, the sky will gradually become brighter, and at some points the only enemy that you will face is your own doubt, is your own lack or fear. You may find yourself in this place that is comparatively better than your past. You may be conscious and aware enough to even recognize that the past you manifested where you presently are. That a past version of you, the one who originally set out on this journey, would be so grateful to be where you are right now. And yet, we hold that feeling of, it's not good enough. I want better. I deserve better. I've put in so much work and this is what I get. And again, just being honest with ourselves when we get into those sorts of states, however it looks for you. And that is also because we know that we still have room to grow and distance to travel. And sometimes we are just simply holding resistance to that truth alone. In our greater awareness that we have gathered on our journey, we can consciously or subconsciously acknowledge that our original intention is far greater than even what we are presently experiencing. And so we know that we have room left to grow, lessons to learn, miles to travel, right? And so, what does that feeling trigger in you? Do you feel frustrated, lost, unworthy, conflicted, upset, sad, angry? Take a minute here to acknowledge exactly how you feel. No matter how ugly it sounds, no matter how negative it is, it's just you and yourself here in this space. Tell yourself exactly how you feel. It's so good to acknowledge how we feel, admitting to those more negative thoughts, feelings, experiences, because on our spiritual journey, we are often told or telling ourselves that we need to distance ourselves from those thoughts and feelings and experiences. And it is true that in the grander scheme of things, we are working away from those frequencies. But when they are still present and we are simply ignoring them, we are not helping ourselves. We are suppressing them, and then they start to fester. Notice if you feel any bit easier or lighter just by expressing how you actually feel and holding space for it. And now, what I want you to do is to reconnect to or remember the original intention that you set out towards on your spiritual journey. Maybe you developed or envisioned a dream of how you want your life to be, of how you envision yourself to be. Take a minute to reconnect to that vision, that original intention, and I will guide you further from there. And we're going to take a moment before we continue down that positive direction to remember where we started. The version of us that made this original intention. And I want you to acknowledge and give yourself credit for how far you have come since then. And maybe you're listening to this and you are at the very beginning of your journey and you just decided to set this more positive intention. Then give yourself credit for being brave enough to choose something better. Being brave enough to want and work towards something better. And if you are further along in your journey, then acknowledge all that has changed, all that has improved and transmuted and alchemized in alignment to your attention. And briefly now, we are going to honestly, lovingly, and non judgmentally take inventory about where we are presently. Both the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly. Where are we in comparison to our intention and our goal? Maybe we still want to be kinder, more calmer, more peaceful, more loving. Just sit with yourself and see what rises to the surface. what I am about to say is very important, and that is the frequency of wanting will not get you to your intention. It will not get you to where you want and need to be. Wanting reinforces the belief or the energy that you are not who you want to be, you do not have what you want to have, because subliminally and subconsciously you are affirming, I am not this, and that is why I want it. Your wants, your wishes, your hopes, your desires, they are here to guide you. They are very important, and they need to be used and wielded in the right way. So when we want something, and that want, that hope, that wish arises from the wellspring of our heart and soul, then we now have a goal and a trajectory to become. But a crucial differentiation in the process that makes it a successful one is that we must not stay in the frequency or feeling of wanting something, and therefore affirming that we do not have it or are not it. Because in that situation, we will only perpetuate the undesired frequency and experience that we are wanting to shift out of. We must instead immediately become it and embody it. And I know you've heard this before, it's that fake it till you make it mentality, and it really is true. Because if your desire is to become peaceful, then you must be peaceful. To be peaceful, and I know that sounds so redundant and so silly, but if you want to be peaceful and you spend so much of your time worrying, if you lose sleep at night, spinning your wheels, wasting your time worrying about worst case scenarios, then you will not be peaceful in those energies, in those experiences in your life. If you spend your time and you allow yourself to spend your time being worried, being afraid, doubting, resonating with lack and fear, then you will not be peaceful. And this is not a moment to judge ourselves for this, because like I said, in most cases, it is not one and done, it is a journey. It is continuously catching ourselves in those negative thought loops, in those negative spirals, stopping ourselves in our track, stopping the old patterns from continuously playing out, and redirect to something that is better and in alignment with your intentions and goals. When you catch yourself worrying or doubting or fearing, you have to stop yourself in your tracks, take a deep breath, let it go, allow yourself to clear out those energies and move on, and realign yourself with your purpose and your intention. Remind yourself that you are safe, that you are protected. Remind yourself of the beliefs that you are actively working to embody. And before we jump into the next few minutes of self-reflection, I want you to try it out for yourself. So first, say, I want to be peaceful. See how that feels in your body. I want to be peaceful. And now say to yourself, I am peaceful. I am peaceful. How does that feel in your body in comparison? I can almost guarantee that saying, I want to be peaceful, maybe causes anxiety or upset. Whereas saying, I am peaceful with a smile on your face and warmth in your heart makes you feel more peaceful. And so what we are going to do next, I want you to connect to who you are when you are living your intention and your purpose. What you look like, how you act, where you are, what you are experiencing, what you are surrounded by, who you are surrounded by. And you may notice, wow, she's very successful, he's very proud, she's very strong, he's very accomplished. Take those insights and affirm them to yourself in the present moment as affirmations. If you see your future self being confident, then you say, I am confident. If you see your future self being divinely guided and easily flowing through life, then you affirm that to yourself in present tense: I am divinely guided. I easily flow through life. And take your time with each mantra that you craft for yourself. Allow yourself to feel it, to embody it, to experience it. What you feel is what you attract in life. And therefore, what you feel is so extremely important. So I'm going to give you at least 5 minutes with the music to completely embody in the present moment, in the eternal now, your intention. And as I am coming back to this recording, it is 2:22 on the clock, and 222 is all about co-creation. It is us being intentional, loving, aware, present, and divinely aligned with our conscious creations and choices. 222 reminds us that we are in the driver's seat. When we talk about our highest timeline, more than anything, it revolves around the frequency that we are holding. The choices we make and the experiences we have are secondary to that. There are infinite timelines and infinite possibilities. Our souls sign up to learn specific things in most cases, but there's no strict way that has to be done and no strict time frame for it. We have complete sovereignty and free will in our journey. So our highest timeline is not about bypassing those situations that are lessons for us, but rather when we are more conscious, we can overcome a situation and learn the lesson within it in a matter of moments, where in a less conscious experience or situation, that lesson could be drawn out over the course of many, many years. When you are resonating in your highest frequency and you are approaching all situations, all experiences with a higher consciousness, you can give yourself the ease and the effortless navigation that you are seeking to experience. When we are in our highest frequency and radiating pure God Source energy, all obstacles can be easily overcome and navigated. Lessons learned easily through higher consciousness, better opportunities attracted and magnetized in as a vibrational match to our frequency. So it's not about those obstacles not existing, about those storms not happening. It's not about those lessons being skipped on our highest timeline, but rather the suffering associated with them can be overcome or avoided much easier due to a higher vibration and higher consciousness that we are holding. Oftentimes, we take these lows that we experience as a sign that we are not on our highest timeline, and that can make us feel frustrated or confused or upset because here we are putting in all this effort, having such high hopes and expectations and intentions, and then we suddenly feel like it's for nothing. We need to be willing to accept that both good and bad happen on our highest timeline. It's just that the highest timeline minimizes the experience of bad or removes it altogether, depending on your level of ascension, right? All because of our perspective of it and our method of handling it. Optimism and faith in the divine are both part of that highest timeline and highest frequency, because when you see the good that's in the bad, the yin in the yang in the yin, you see the lesson that the bad is here to teach you, and you can overcome it with greater ease and higher perspective. So it's less about what you do and more about the intention that you hold while doing it. And of course, you want to make conscious and loving choices for yourself and others. I just mean that you can do something as simple as taking a shower and decide that the water is healing you and raising your vibration, and it will. You can decide that the food you eat nourishes your body and raises your vibration, and it will. You can choose and set the frequency that you wish to experience, and you will. And it has nothing to do with good or bad or external. You can navigate any type of hardship or obstacle or hurdle, and if you keep your optimism and your faith and your trust in a higher perspective as you do so, then your hope, your love, your honesty will not be diminished. Your joy and your peace will not be diminished. If you fall and you hurt yourself, or a storm comes and tears apart the boat you just built, and you mope and you tell yourself, I'm this, I'm that, the universe is this, the universe is that, then you will be this and that. The universe you live in will be this and that. But if you can hold on to your faith and your higher vision of I am love, I am light, I am a child of the divine, I am divine, all of this is for my highest good, then you are giving yourself all the tools you need to be happy, to be joyful, to be peaceful, and to be what your intention is. You already are everything that you want. You are the peace, you are the love, you are the joy, the abundance, the freedom. You are all of it. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Earth is a planet of polarity. So in the higher realms, if you hold the frequency of freedom and you incarnate onto Earth, that unity of freedom will be split into the duality and polarity of freedom and entrapment. And so do not allow those lows to define you. Instead, allow them to empower you, because in those moments you can recognize that you are the exact opposite of every single hardship that you experience. The only reason you are ever experiencing entrapment, for example, is because you are the living body, the living light code, the living frequency of freedom. You brought that to Earth, and your experiences are helping you to reclaim that. The sooner that you reclaim that, the sooner it all unfolds in divine timing and divine alignment. If you in the higher realms were the living embodiment and the living frequency of abundance, when you incarnated to Earth, that abundance was split into the duality and the polarity of lack and abundance. So if you are experiencing lack, let that be a clear sign that you are the living embodiment and frequency of abundance, that you came to Earth to anchor in that frequency of abundance, that your destiny is abundance because it is your true nature. You will begin to remember and realize that you have no need to want anything, because you already are it. If you could in any way have the energy of want arise within you, then have faith in the knowing that you are literally it. You are literally what you seek, and you are seeking yourself. It is time to come home to who you are, to who you truly and divinely are. No more playing around as something you're not, someone you're not. Choose, consciously choose to know and to remember and to be the frequency that you want and are. Feel that. Feel that you are the living embodiment, the living frequency, the living light codes of exactly what you want. And maybe you can even laugh at yourself for wanting something you already are. Like holding an apple and complaining that you want an apple, forgetting that you're holding one in your hand. That is what's happening on a larger spiritual scale within ourselves and on this planet. You are what you seek. You are seeking yourself. You are not ever seeking anything that is outside of you. You are not waiting for something externally to come to you or align to you, because you will never want something that you are not already. You will never want something that is not already within you. Rejoice in that. Laugh at yourself for that. Be grateful for that. When they say that all you want and need is within you, it is so very literally true. The love you want, the abundance you want, the freedom you want, it is all within you. It is you, and that is why I say you are the living embodiment of it. See yourself as a pulsing frequency. And whatever your unique frequency is, freedom, love, light, bliss, joy, healing, whatever it is, see yourself now as a pulsing, living embodiment of that frequency. Remember that you came to Earth to be you, to anchor this frequency into the collective for all to access, for all to embody and experience. When we say that we need you to be you, it is so extremely literal. It is not a metaphor. It is so literal. You are the living embodiment of a frequency that Earth needs at this time to shift. That her children, her people, her beings, her animals need at this time in order for things to shift in a positive and divinely aligned way. In order for all of our individual intentions and dreams to coalesce into one divine timeline for us all to experience here on Earth. You are here to be you. You are here to reunify that which was once whole and split into duality and polarity upon incarnating on this planet. This planet suffers from duality and separation consciousness, and a lot of us have come here to bring unity consciousness. And so we have brought ourselves here as a unified frequency, a unified whole. We took on the journey, the challenge, the experience of splitting and experiencing duality so that we could find ourselves again in our wholeness, in and as our unified self and frequency, deepen that, strengthen that, and anchor it into the collective. And every single time you made any progress towards unification of your whole self, you did just this. You brought that much more love, frequency, abundance, healing, etc. to the earth, to the collective, and to yourself. Remember that you are not here to suffer. You are not here to punish yourself. You came for a reason. So allow that remembering to empower you, to enliven and enlighten you. Allow that to be the lifeline that pulls you out of your darkest depths, that realigns you with your why, your intention, your purpose, your reason for being here. And your reason for being here is love. It's because all beings deserve love. All beings deserve happiness. All beings deserve freedom. And you came here to assist in that process simply by being you. Regardless of any and all actions you may take beyond that, your primary purpose and reason for being here is just to be you, to find that frequency and to hold it, to live your life as the living embodiment of that frequency. All challenges and obstacles become so much easier when we know and remember that we are doing it out of love. Live in that love. Live as that love. And all will be provided for you. All will be resolved and taken care of. Remember and reclaim your power now. And as you remember, allow yourself to smile, to rejoice, to relax, to know that you are cared for, carried, loved, honored, respected. You are never forgotten. You are never lost. You are never misplaced. All is divinely held, divinely loved, and divinely honored, as are you. And so it is. I am sending you so much love, so much happiness, so much joy, purpose, bliss, and peace. I am hoping that this meditation assisted you and hopefully got you out of the darkness that you were maybe experiencing at the beginning of this meditation. I am wishing you so much love and happiness. There is more from me in the description below. I do one-on-one counseling, so if there is anything that feels too dense to take on your own, I am here to assist you with that. I have a Patreon that goes more into explaining these topics in greater detail, because power and empowerment really just comes from remembering and knowing. All right, so much love to you. Thank you for joining me here today. Namaste.